All right, I just hit the button. So let me look at the counter. I'll tell you as soon as we go live. We're live now. All right, so what's up, everybody? What's up, Trudy? What's up, Great White North? Welcome to the Stephen King stream. Been looking forward to this. Let's give it a couple of minutes for more people to show up before we get started. But I'm sure you guys are familiar with MichaelBtheGameGenie and Miketendo, whose channel is Dongled. You might know his show better as, dude, you haven't played this game. What up, Cabot? Yeah, we're live, dude. We're live, man.
Or, dude, you haven't played this game yet.
Or, dude, yeah. Yeah. I hope you add that to your tags, dude.
Don't forget the question mark.
Did Mike cut out for you too, Tendo, or is that just on my end?
I did not hear him.
Discord, man. It still does that.
Wah, wah. Is he?
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, it's Discord, dude. Tendo just cut out just now, too. It's Discord.
Weird. It's
always been that way, dude. It's always been that way.
That's weird.
For me, anyway. It's always been like that. Let's see. Alright, so we're all set. Yeah, so I'm gonna start a new game here of Resident Evil Remake. This is the remastered version. I'm gonna be playing with the unlimited rocket launcher, just so that it is easier to talk and play at the same time. I'm adding Mike V as a mod. Tendo, can you just drop a quick comment in the chat so I can add you as a mod?
Yes. Give me a sec.
So I need you guys to also police the stream. Usually my streams are alright, but every now and then we get an idiot in here. So what up, Solid Nate? Just type in whatever.
There you go.
Alright, cool. Choose mod. Alright, got you guys added.
Cool.
Sweet. Alright, so let's see. I'm going to start a brand new game. And then we can get started once the story gets going here. Alright, so the first thing that I want to cover, and this goes for everyone in the chat too, is how old were you when you read your first Stephen King book, and what was your first Stephen King book that you ever read? Oh, thanks, Great White North.
Miketendo, maybe you should start.
Yeah, probably. So I know a lot less about Stephen King than these guys probably, but the first book I read was Skeleton Crew, and that's just like a compilation of some short stories, which I don't even know how I ended up with that book. I was young, like I was probably 11 or 12, and I think my mom bought it for me, which is really weird. I mean, she knew I loved reading and writing, so she was probably like, "Here, Stephen King's a good writer. Here you go." So
you sure she didn't think it was like a Goosebumps?
Probably. I don't know. I was a really big fan of Goosebumps back then. So.
You know what's funny is I completely skipped Goosebumps. I went straight from like, I don't know. I used to read those like Alfred Hitchcock mysteries, like the Three Investigators. I don't know if you guys remember those books.
Oh, cool.
I went from like those straight to Stephen King.
Oh, jeez.
Northwest Raccoon City.
So Mike B, what was your first book, and how old were you?
My first book was The Stand, and I was
Nice.
15.
You were 15, huh?
Bizarre murder cases.
Yeah.
So Cabot in the chat, see, for me, the first Stephen King book I read was The Stand when I was 14. I read it for a book report. I didn't write the report, but really enjoyed the book. Oh yeah, dude, my schoolwork suffered because I was hooked on Stephen King. See, I started, my first book was Carrie.
wow.
And
That's a shorter first book.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably why I started with that one. I tried to read it when I was 9, and it was just too adult for me. I didn't get it. I was just a kid, you know. A lot of the stuff he talked about, I just didn't get it. But Carrie was the first book I read. I was 12 when I read it, and the reason I got into it is that we had a book fair at my middle school, and they were selling Stephen King books at the book fair, and like I said, I tried to read it when I was 9, and yeah, that didn't work out. But I loved like the artwork on the covers and stuff. You know, this was like, well, it was like 1990 for me, but late 80s artwork, you know, just the horror artwork, and you know what I'm talking about. That font, you know, that's Stranger Things uses and everything.
Oh, yeah. Right, yeah.
It just, you know, it's just really eye-catching. And I was all over it, dude. So I started off with Carrie because it was a shorter book. And then I knew it was his first one, too. And after I read that, hooked. I was hooked. And I just kept reading more and more of his books, and it got to the point where, like, I think I had ADD anyway as a kid, so I never really paid attention in class. But it got to the point where I would just hide the book under the desk and just read throughout the whole day of school. Like, I would read a Stephen King book, like, every 2 to 3 days.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't stop. I was hooked. And here's the funny thing, is that one of my teachers saw me reading a Stephen King book and told me I couldn't read it, and that I wasn't old enough to read it, and that I would need to bring a permission note from my parents.
What?
Yeah, despite that I bought the book at the damn school book fair. And I remember my dad wrote a snarky message, basically saying that same thing. And then after that, the teachers left me alone about reading Stephen King. No, go ahead.
The only thing, sorry, Mike, I jumped in there. The only thing, like, when I was really young, like 15 and 16, reading the books, there was a lot of graphical sexual content. Like, I think it was like my aunt stayed in my room one time and she picked up Wizard and Glass and was reading through it. And she was like, this is a smutty book. Mike's reading smut.
What is this place?
Which is, I mean, not all of Stephen King's books are super sexual. I mean,
No,
like,
not at all.
yeah, like a lot of them are just really good horror
You'll
stories.
know. You don't want to go back.
Or
And that's
just
kind
great
of-
stories, period.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What was that?
I mean,
they usually involve some down on his luck writer that somehow gets into a sexual relationship with a girl that possibly shouldn't be interested in him.
Chris and I have a long
Yeah.
ways. All right.
Let me read some of the chat here. Let's see.
Stay sharp.
For Great White North, it was Graveyard Shift, which is, so are you talking about Night Shift, the book that has Graveyard Shift in it? Is that what you're talking about? Great White North is Graveyard Shift is a short story in Night Shift, which is a fantastic story. I love that story. In fact, when I was a lot younger, I wrote a song about that story. And Carrie too, and he was in his teens. All right, so Cabot says his second was Christine, but he's not certain. That's a great one too. I'm doing great, Trudy. How about you? Mile High Game Hunters is in the house.
Yeah,
by the
Mile
way,
High Game Hunters mentioned Resident Evil 0 and 4, and I think this game is coming to Switch.
Yep, I mentioned that this one's coming too. By the way, Dan from Mile High Game Hunters is coming game hunting with us on Tuesday.
Oh, okay. Good stuff.
Let's see. Imagine if it was Gerald's game instead of Wizards and Glass. It's Cabot.
Yeah.
And they're playing the sex games and trying to spice up their flaccid sex life.
Yeah, I still haven't watched that Netflix adaptation yet, but apparently it's really good.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
And I'm jumping ahead here, but I'll tell you, the first time I read Gerald's Game, I didn't think I was going to enjoy it. Like, I was hitting the bottom of the barrel with Stephen King books I hadn't read yet. And I read the first part about their love trip, and I was like, this is just kind of stupid. And then everything gets turned on its head, and I'm like, this is the best book I've ever read in my entire life.
Dude. I know, man. Like, I held off on that one as well, dude. I was just like,
Jill.
But, once I got to it, I was like, this is pretty awesome. And the tie-in that it had with Dolores Claiborne was really cool. Let's see. Mile High Game Hunter says, I started off with Stephen King movies before I picked up an actual book. First book, I think, was Cell. Cell was good. I liked that one. But, like, the first half was really good. It got kind of hokey after a while.
A lot of them do.
Like, Captain messed up and took Sypha, says David. He's talking about Captain. Captain Algebra's streaming Castlevania 3 right now. And I specifically told Captain Algebra to get Grant.
I always get Sypha.
Fuck Sypha. Grant, man. Grant.
Grant and Nasty.
Yep.
That's his name.
Let's see. Cat's Eye. So Cat's Eye, and this G Dilla in the chat. Cat's Eye, that's like a like 3 of Stephen King's short stories adapted for the movie. I know one of them was that one from Night Shift where the mob guy gets the guy cheating on his woman or whatever, and he makes him walk on the ledge. Makes him walk around the building on the ledge. Do you remember that, Mike? Do you remember that story?
You cut out there for a second, Wes.
Yeah, we're all cutting out, man. This damn Discord. Now I was talking about Cat's Eye. Damn it, I'm not paying attention to the game. Cat's Eye, the movie, had 3 adaptations of 3 of King's short stories, and I remember that one of them was the story where the mob boss catches that guy cheating on his wife or whatever, or his woman, and he has the guy walk around the ledge on the high-rise building.
Okay.
Thanks, Ray White North. You just throw down 5 bones for me. I appreciate that, dude.
Nice.
Thanks a lot, man. So do you remember that, Mike?
No, I don't think I've ever seen Cat's Eye, honestly.
Do you remember that story, though, from Night Shift?
No, and I'm going to be honest with you, Wes. I've read all of Stephen King's books except a lot of the compilation books.
Okay, all right. Well,
yeah, like I got most of the way through 4 Past Midnight. I think I might have finished 4 Past Midnight, but like I haven't read a ton of the compilation books.
All right. Well, in my opinion, Night Shift is the best of the compilation books. So, all right, turn the volume down a bit more here. Let me get some more with the chat here. Let's see.
Trudy says The Shining was a good movie too. Yeah, which one?
Yeah, and we're gonna get to that too. That's one of the subjects that we're gonna talk about, are the adaptations.
So, The Shining was based on Stephen King going to this hotel that actually were going to be. It's based on the actual hotel that he went to. Though the hotels, the Stanley Hotel, which is where we're going actually, from what I understand.
We're not going there. That's in Estes Park.
That's what I heard.
No.
Yeah, it's Estes Park. That's where the wedding is, isn't it?
No. The wedding.
Are you sure?
The wedding is near Donovan's house, dude.
Why is it that? Because I could have sworn that Donovan told me. Let me pause real quick. I could have sworn that Donovan told me that we were going to Estes Park. Like that's where the wedding was being held. And so that's why I was curious, because
my understanding is the hotel you guys got, the reason you got that hotel is because it's near where the wedding is being held. Nah, dude, Estes Park is in the mountains, dude.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Man, freaking!
I wish we were going there. That would be awesome.
Dude, I definitely talked to Donovan about this, and he was like, "Yeah, we're going to Estes Park. It's where The Shining was inspired, and actually the second movie, I think it's the TV movie, was based on Estes Park.
It was actually filmed there.
It was filmed there, right, right. So when I heard that, because dude, I've been to Colorado once, so I didn't know, and I was like, oh really? Oh, that's kind of cool. I told my wife, and she's like, are you for real? Like that's where you're going? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like super jealous because she's in love with Colorado.
No, dude. When I hung out with Donovan and Dubious a few months ago, they told me that where he was having the wedding was like not far from his house.
Oh, okay. Well, I am wrong then. I must have misunderstood or misheard.
Yeah, dude, the hotel would be expensive as all hell if...
I can imagine.
Yeah, no, we're not going out there. Anyway, let's get back to the... But anyway, yeah, the Shining was based off of Stephen King's stay at that hotel.
Right,
that is true.
But the second movie was filmed at Estes Park.
Let's see here.
The TV movie.
I'm catching up on the chat here. Let's see.
I think the first one was filmed in like Montana or something like that.
I have no idea where the first one was.
Yeah, I'm almost positive.
Creeper AK-47, what up, dude? Hey, Dean, what's going on? All right. So let me take a look and see what we got here. All right, so and this goes for everyone in the chat too. What is your favorite Stephen King book? And I guess we can do the movie too, but let's start off with the book. What's your favorite Stephen King book?
Mile High Game Hunters. I'm going to be in a car full of people from the internet on Tuesday. I hope I don't end up getting ... multi-tap.
Oh.
Yeah, we can't promise anything.
I know. The Stand is my favorite, says fuck Google. Alright, so I guess I'll go first. Absolutely, dude. The Stand. The Stand is my all-time favorite book ever.
Good idea.
I've read it several times. The first time I read it, I was 13. It was in middle school. It was awesome. I loved it. What about you, Mike? What's your favorite?
It's also The Stand. And funny coincidence, I'm a big wrestling fan. My favorite wrestler is Chris Jericho. Also his favorite book.
Ah.
You guys probably don't know about wrestling.
I
just
know
thought
a
it very
little.
interesting.
No, the viewers in my streams are diehard wrestling fans. We talk about wrestling often, actually.
Yeah.
Hey now, I just did a month ago that wrestling review, so clearly I know everything about wrestling.
Hey man, this is not the place to be plugging your channel, dude. Oh, by the way.
Oh, here we go.
By the way, if you want to check out Michael B's channel and Miketendo's channel, the links are in the description. So, Miketendo just did a video on Sonya Belmont for Castlevania Legends and the never-released Castlevania Resurrection. Lot of info in there. Really good video. You guys ought to check it out. Like I said,
It was a doozy.
yeah, link to his video or to his channel and to Mike B's channel, both in the description.
Miketendo, why are you reviewing obscure Castlevania games? Obviously, the way to go is to review the masterpiece Castlevania games that everybody already. Excellent.
Right. Like Symphony of the Night. Like I should just review Symphony of the Night.
All right, so let me see what some of these people's favorites are here. Demguts, Rose Matter. You mean the miniseries? Because that was never a book. Is that what you're talking about, Rose or Dem Guts? Let's see. Dean's driving home. He's gonna hop back in. Yeah, we'll be here, Dean. Don't worry.
Great White North said, "I want to read The Stand." I'm with you. I've seen. So I have less experience with the books themselves, but I have plenty, like a lot of experience with the movies. So I've seen a good chunk of Stephen King movies, and The Stand was like that mini series was incredible. Like,
all right, well,
it's give you a heads up, Miketendo. It's actually pretty close to the book when you're starting off. Like it
really?
veers a little bit in the middle and towards the end, and they combine some characters to save time. But other than that, it is pretty good compared to the book.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
Yeah, like didn't they combine like the Trash Can Man and another character? I can't remember.
No, it's the chick that he meets in New York. Eddie meets in New York, and then the one that Randall Flagg eventually. Yeah.
I remember now.
Nina, I think her name is.
Yeah, the first chick like ends up ODing and like choking on her own vomit in a tent.
Yeah.
And then Nadine.
That's.
Yeah. So, Mile High Game Hunters is like the TV miniseries, though. That intro was dope. That was about it. Well, here's the thing.
Don't fear the Reaper. Yeah.
It's the miniseries. It's very dated. Now it is. At the time, it was cool because it followed the book pretty well. Without as far as much as they could do on regular TV.
Yeah. Can we swear here? Because I don't swear on my channel, but can I swear here?
Fuck yeah, you can. Dude,
you gotta remember too. Like if you watched this when it originally came out, that was a fucking happening, man. Like when a Stephen King miniseries came out, everything stopped and you just fucking watched it. It was great.
Oh yeah.
And like I watched The Stand live when it came out, and like it was a happening, right?
Oh yeah, dude. I think Mike may have cut out again.
I saw The Stand on I think it was a rerun. I don't think it was live. I think it was like a rerun or something. But I caught it on TV as well. And I unfortunately didn't finish it. Like I can't remember what happened, but like I was maybe I was in high school. I was older. I was like maybe 17, 18, and I caught like one of the episodes in the middle of it, and I just got hooked. And I watched maybe like one additional episode, like because they were like 2-hour movies or whatever. Like each episode was like a 2-hour.
The whole thing's like 8 hours, yeah. And then when it's on TV, allowing for commercials, it was roughly around 3 hours.
Yep. So I remember watching it and just being super hooked and super into it, and then something happened where like I had to go do something and I wasn't able to finish watching it, and I always wanted to go back and like watch it. So I'll have to get around to that. I don't know. Does anybody know? Did they release it on like Blu-ray or DVD or whatever?
I have it on DVD.
I have it on DVD too. Yeah.
Is it like 12 DVDs or whatever?
No, mine is like I think it's a double-sided disc. They crammed it all onto like double-sided disc.
So if you're lucky, right now the horror movies are still out of Walmart and stuff like that. They usually have it at Walmart, $5 horror movies every year.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to go check.
Yeah, let me catch up on this chat here. Let's see. Cabot saying different seasons, and dude, Cabot, I've read different seasons like 4 times, dude. I love different seasons. It's so good. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
We'll get deeper into that coming up in a little bit. Let's see.
Great White North mentioned the Langoliers, as did David Hunick.
Huneka.
Yeah.
Dude, I love the Langoliers. I thought that movie was so fun and goofy, mostly because of Bronson Pinchot.
Yeah, Balky.
Balky, yes. Because it was such a weird role for him to play, especially if you only know him as Balky.
How could you only know him as Balky? Have you never watched Beverly Hills Cop?
No, I've never seen Beverly Hills Cop.
He's goofy in Beverly Hills Cop too, but
he's
also
Surge.
He was also in True Romance, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He was, yeah.
Let's see.
I
All right,
guess
so
erased him from existence in True Romance.
so I was
I only know
asking
him as
Dem
Cosmo.
Guts about. I thought he was talking about Rose Red too, but I forgot the book Rose Matter. Rose Matters with the bull. I forgot all about that. And basically, it was the woman hiding from her abusive husband or something. Wasn't that like the premise of that story? Rose Matter.
I can't remember.
I think it was. It's been a while since I've read that one.
Yeah.
That sounds super familiar.
Let's see. Hold on. Let me see where are we at here. Mile High Game Hunters. I know we actually talked about this a couple of weeks ago about the Langoliers. He enjoyed it. Let's see.
Is the book Langoliers is a short story, isn't it? It's not a full.
It's the first story in 4 Past Midnight.
Oh, okay. So why did they call it
It's a novella.
Are they called in the book? Are they called in the story in the written story Langoliers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they basically